What time is it?
As we take this walk to see one of the most famous landmarks here in Singapore, which is the Merlion, we're going to get into what you saw in the title, and that is why, the question of why. Well, people, I guess, have their own reasons. But whatever your reason is has nothing to do with my own personal experiences of 13 years of traveling here to Singapore.
Maybe somebody will say, I'm not gonna freeze. You freeze. Then I'll be like, yes.
This will be the nice spot.
You know what this reminds me of? The Hong Kong, the ferry.
Oh,
No?
the Victoria.
Yeah.
People have different reasons of why they like a place, and one of my reasons is because of friendships. When you form friendships over amount of a certain years and you continue going back to that place, then it's genuine that you like the place. It's a personal reason. So my positive experiences here and connections with people in Singapore have contributed to why I say that Singapore is my favorite country in Asia so far that I have visited. So that's a little of how I rate countries that I really like. It's based on friendships. And if you follow me for a while, of course, it's based on beaches because I am a beach type person. And basic interaction with just the people of that country or particular city in the country. I talked about many a times I had a bad situation in Brazil in a city called Campina Grande. I keep bringing that up because I told myself I would never revisit that city again. That city has nothing to do with the whole country of Brazil, and it doesn't represent the whole country of Brazil. I just had the incident that I thought that was kind of racist in the city of Campina Grande. So I wouldn't say don't visit Brazil. I wouldn't even go as far as saying don't visit Campina Grande because your experience might not be the same as my experience. But I would say that Brazil is probably my favorite country out of all the countries in the world I have visited. They're probably at number one. And probably right behind that would be South Africa. It's a newer country that I have visited over amount of years that I would say also that I like. And these two countries I like more than Singapore. But if we're talking about just continent based, just in Asia, I would say that Singapore is my favorite country that I have visited. I haven't visited Korea. I haven't visited China. I haven't visited, somebody mentioned Cambodia. So I can't compare those countries or a city in that country to Singapore. That would be false information because I have never visited those countries. So I only can compare within the countries in my journey. That's how you make a comparison. And I read some comments of propaganda. Propaganda means external influence on someone. And that's not happening over here because if that was the case, that means that I would also be getting paid. And I'm not. I'm not really getting paid from YouTube because I have a lot of music in most of my older videos that got my video either blocked in certain countries or I had to take a certain amount of the music content out, which strips the video from like a 10-minute video. Now it's like 5 minutes or less than that. So I'm not really getting paid from YouTube. Plus you can tell by views. And you can tell that this is just a hobby of mine, making videos. Other than that, I have something that I do like, which is called a job that pays me enough to do the things I want to do in life, which includes traveling. So that's what I do like. They pay me my job. But yeah, the country of Singapore, I wish they would pay me. But yeah, this is not propaganda. What I'm saying is built on relationships and connections with just people worldwide of the countries that I have visited. Many travelers say that Singapore is a destination that is not cheap. It's very expensive, and that is true. But I'm from the U.S. It's expensive all over the U.S. as well. So if you're a budget traveler or a backpacker, then yes, Singapore might not be your destination. But there are hostels here. But like I mentioned in the previous video, I'm not the hostel type person. I'm not going to pay for an airfare, go across the world, and stay in a hostel. Again, there's nothing wrong with a hostel, but I want a nice hotel or an apartment. People say, but you can meet other travelers as well, and that's cool. But I can do that on the plane, I can do that on the streets, or I can do that at the malls in that country. I travel to see and meet people of that country to get the real experiences from a native. Now, if I meet someone that's not from that country while on my travel, that's fine also. So yeah, being expensive might change people's minds of coming here to Singapore or saying they like Singapore because it's so expensive compared to the other nearby countries. Some people talk about the strict laws and regulations, and some people see videos or read upon the laws here in Singapore. Some might say they're very strict. Well, this might be the reason why I think the country is safer than other Asian countries that I have visited in Asia. The two other countries I visited, Thailand back in 2011, I went a couple of more times, and also I visited Indonesia to Bali. When I first went to Thailand, marijuana was illegal. Now it's legal. So the laws there are more relaxed than it is here in Singapore. So you might run across people that say they enjoyed or like Thailand versus Singapore. They like Thailand more. And I could see why. If you're into smoking marijuana or bars or more of a nightlife, then yeah, Thailand is where it's at. But I'm not into smoking weed. I'm not into bars. So I like Singapore more than I like Thailand. So some like other Asian countries because the lack of nightlife here in Singapore compared to a Bali or Bangkok. And I understand. But what you like, the next traveler or person might dislike. Again, it's all based on your experiences and what you like as an individual and your personal opinions about a specific country. So now we talked about some people might not like the cost of Singapore, and we just talked about the lack of a nightlife compared to a Bali or Bangkok. We can throw racism in there also. It's a global issue, but from what I can see is that as a continent, between all the continents, Asia, I feel, has less racism than North or South America, Europe, and etc. Not to say it doesn't exist, because it does, but seconds ago I just said it's a global issue. So that could be another reason why travelers don't like Singapore. They came here and they encountered some form of racism and choose not to come back. And there's many more reasons why travelers might not like Singapore, but as I explained to myself, it's based on my own experiences, friendships, and also beaches. If you made it this far, thanks again for watching. Leave comments below also. Peace out.